Welcome back to another exciting episode on the show. I'm so happy to have you guys once again. And you guys know we only bring the best of guests to our show. Today's guest is Bryan Blackmon, whose story is a powerful reminder that sometimes second chance begins when someone else refuses to give up on you. Bryan left Texas for California chasing a dream, but found himself homeless, sleeping in his car, and struggling with alcohol and addiction. Then an 85-year-old landlord named Elaine made a decision that changed the direction of his life. She didn't just give Bryan a place to stay, she gave him a reason to believe he could rebuild. Today, Bryan is sober, rebuilding his life in public, and the creator of Crab Crew Life, a community built around four pillars: clear, resilient, adaptable, and believe. His message is simple but powerful. No matter how deep you have dug your hole, you can claw your way back out. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you
Yeah.
for having me.
Okay, so Bryan, take us back to the moment Elaine decided to stand by you instead of giving up on you. What was happening inside you at that moment?
Yeah, I was going through withdrawals really bad during the time that I finally came clean and told her what was going on. I decided to get clean and sober, not knowing what to expect. We spend a lot of time, passing each other throughout the day in the house and talking with each other and seeing each other making lunch or breakfast and dinner and just normal everyday to day activities. And I hadn't really seen her but just a handful of time in roughly 15 days. And I was going through withdrawals really bad. And I was just terrified of what was about to happen next. Um, I had to go tell her. So I went downstairs and told her what I was going through and basically sharing with her the real person she had taken a chance on. She didn't know that I was, a drug and alcoholic at this time. I hid it pretty well. I don't know how, but I did. And her words to me were, I love you. You're like family to me now. Go back upstairs, do whatever you got to do, and let me know if you need me. I'll be right here. And, that gave me an extra boost into, okay, I'm safe. I can continue on with this journey. Yeah, that's what was going through my head then.
Okay, so Bryan, what was the real turning point when you decided that you were going to get sober and rebuild your life?
I was brushing my teeth one morning, and when I turned around and was looking at myself in the mirror really closely, I guess, and when I saw the reflection looking back at me, I was disgusted. I didn't see an individual like a person anymore. I saw this weary, tired, lifeless shell of a human being, and everything inside of my body got really quiet, uh, frighteningly quiet. And I heard four words being spoke to me. And those four words were, "You are worth it." When I heard those four words, I immediately believed it. I didn't understand worthy of what. I didn't know what was really happening. I just believed that I had heard words that carried a lot of weight. They were outside of myself. They weren't from me. So I knew it was something I better listen to.
Okay, so you built the CRAB framework around clear, resilient, adaptable, and believe. Walk us through those four pillars and why they matter.
Well, I started live streaming on TikTok and sharing my daily life with the world. I was I was out and about one day here in California and doing my live stream and was sent a crab gift that it turns your screen into this crab and it starts dancing on your head. And I'd made some silly joke about it, told somebody that they gave me crabs right here on TikTok, and people started laughing. And then a lot of people started sending me this gift, and I would call out their name and, ask them why they gave me crabs. It just turned into this fun thing. And then I started receiving gifts from all over the world to my P.O. box, crab everything, blankets, um, shirts. socks, boxers, t-shirts. I mean, just anything you could think of, crab. And I started wondering what was happening here, and I was led to research crabs. And when I did, I found that they are resilient, they are adaptive. And I was thinking about my own addiction and the alcoholism and how I've been living my life for so many years. I'd been training to be resilient and adaptive my whole life without even really knowing it. And then as I got sober, I started realizing that, excuse me, I started realizing that, I was learning how to become adaptive and resilient in this new life, in this new body, in this new spirit, this new skin, this new set of eyes. And I started doing research on crabs and, found the crab mentality and found out that when you put crabs in a container, they'll try to claw out. And when they do, other ones will reach up and pull them back down. And I related that to my own life in the past, thinking that, well, oftentimes I was being pulled down by influences and other people, places, and things, but a lot of times I was pulling myself back down. So I just took a my brain and some paper and a pen and just started writing, man. And I came up with what I was doing to not only get sober, but to stay sober. Not only stay sober, but to change my thought progress in life. And I came up with, well, what did I have to do first? I had to get clean. But it wasn't just getting clean from drugs and alcohol, it was my mind, body, and spirit had to get clean, pulling out the chaos and the weeds that I'd been telling myself all these years and the lies that I'd been telling myself about who I thought I really was. And then resilience, learning how to bounce back and or get back up when life hits you. Adaptability, being in any kind of situation or going through any experience in life and how to adapt to what's in front of you. And then the B just so happened to be at the bottom, which I chose the word belief because I believed that I was worth it. And that landed as the foundation for the rest of it to be stacked on top of. And it just kind of started growing from there.
Okay, thank you so much, Brian. So you say that redemption is a routine. What daily habits help you rebuild your self-respect and create stability?
I started meditating a lot and getting quiet. I got rid of a lot of people in my life. A lot of people disappeared in my life. I stopped worrying about tomorrow. I stopped thinking about yesterday. I wake up and I stay grateful for five simple things in life. The fact that I was given another chance today. I have a roof over my head, shoes on my feet, clothes on my back, food in my stomach. I learned how to live in the present moment as much as possible. I also, don't let outside influence start my day. So, for instance, I get up, I let my dog out, I make myself a little something to eat and make coffee, and then I literally sit in the dark for 30 minutes or more and just learn how to let the thoughts race without attaching emotions to them. And that's been something that really has um, progressed into a way that allows me to start my day and nothing else. And those are just a few of the things that I do um, to get through my day, living as much in the present as possible. And then at night, a gratitude journal. I don't go to sleep without, doing some gratitude journaling, which allows me to sleep after getting, all these racing thoughts or how the day, good, bad, or indifferent went. Get those things out of my head and get them on paper and kind of release them.
Okay,
Yeah, that's kind of
so
what a day looks like.
so how did something as simple as morning coffee and grooming become part of rebuilding your life?
How did they redeem my life?
How did they become part of rebuilding your life?
I don't know. I just I just started doing them. It just kind of became some things I just started doing, and they weren't meant for anything. They just started making me feel better as I was, learning how to do life again. So nothing was really planned. I just started realizing that, man, if I don't like the way I feel if I let the outside world start my day, like getting on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or turning on the TV. I felt more at peace in silence. And next thing I know, I look up, it's a year later, and I've been putting these things to practice, every morning. And then I started just looking back at how it was making me feel and how my days were actually evolving. And so I just kept using them as daily practices. And yeah, it helps me to stay focused on what makes me happy and what keeps me peaceful.
Okay. So moving on, what do people misunderstand most about homelessness and addiction?
First, I think that a lot of people see homeless and drug addicts or alcoholics as they came from that lifestyle. They came from parents or families that were in that similar situation or similar situations. And that's just not true. Yes, there are those types, absolutely. But I came from a wonderful, amazing family, a very loving and supporting family that were not alcoholics or drug addicts. So I think, a lot of times we look at people on the streets or others that are, in their addictions that, that's how they were taught or how they were raised. And a lot of times that's just not true. So I think that's a common misconception.
Okay. So why do you believe community can be more powerful than willpower alone when someone is trying to recover?
Can you ask that question one more time?
Why do you think community can be more powerful than using willpower when someone is trying
Oh,
to recover?
well, you have to surround yourself by the right people. I don't think just any community will do. I did it alone. I didn't have anybody around. I had people that I could rely on, like if I really needed to talk or, I would go to meetings a lot in the beginning or, my mom over the phone, but I didn't, the community came later. I had to get rid of people, places, and things that were taking energy and peace away from me. And I'm still that way. The only community and family that I really have is the family that I was born into, which I'm very close to. But the community that I built through Crab Crew, that came way later. And yes, they help me because I get to be me at all times. But to say that a community is better, I can't necessarily agree with that because if you choose the wrong people to put yourself around while you're going through sobriety or freshly getting started with sobriety, you could be aligning yourself with the wrong people. So I can't really say that community is better until you actually know who you're surrounding yourself with.
Okay. So you have shared more than 175 hours of TikTok live content. Tell us how has rebuilding your life publicly affected your own sobriety and accountability.
I was able to share my struggles and the emotions that I was going through and the successes of staying sober every day in front of people. And I'm still doing that. It it just allowed me to be real. Like I can't. There's nothing I can fake. There's nothing I can hide. I just wear my sleeve on my shoulder, wear my heart on my shoulder, or my sleeve. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, man, it's just allowed me to be real and authentic at all times because I can't hide who I am, and being able to do that in front of a lot of people has allowed me to see more of who I am and watch myself grow as other people support it. And yeah, yeah, that's about it.
So, what is harder, getting sober or staying sober once the initial crisis is behind you? Which of them is harder?
I would think getting sober. Staying sober, once you make the decision that you want to get sober from whatever it may be, once you put your foot down and you look in the mirror and you have told yourself that you have had enough, you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Once you make that decision for you and not for anybody else on this planet, not even your mother, your kids, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your friends, your newborn, whatever it is, if you're trying to do it for any other reason besides yourself, um, I have a strong feeling that you're not going to make it. So I think getting sober and doing it for yourself is harder than actually making the decision for yourself to get sober and then maintain sobriety?
Personally, for me, I think staying sober should be a difficult one for me, honestly, because there are moments where I start getting sober, then 1 year clean, then before you know, I'm relapsing. So that's why I believe staying sober is harder.
Yeah, yeah. Well, relapse is, oftentimes a part of it. Um, yeah, but for me, I guess it worked the opposite. Once I knew that that's what I wanted more than anything, it was it made the hard times a little bit easier to go through because I was so willing to go through it because I wanted to change so bad.
All right. So finally, if someone listening feels like they are in their own physical or emotional tent and believes they have run out of chances, what would you say to them?
That yesterday does not define who you are today. Believing in yourself and believing that you're worthy of having a better life and believing that you can have and create anything that your heart desires in this world, you can do. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't shame yourself or feel guilty about the decisions you made in the past because you can't go back and change them. The only thing you can do is start making better decisions right now for you, and then everybody else will benefit from it.
All right. Brian, thank you for being willing to tell the story behind the comeback. Not just the success, but the struggle, the routines, the people, and the decisions that made the rebuilding possible. Your story is proof that a person's worst chapter doesn't have to become their final chapter. Brian, before you go, how can my listeners connect with you and learn more about
Yeah,
what you do?
yeah, you can go to crabcrewlife.com and all my information about who the Crab Crew is and what I'm doing. And then all my social media links are all at the bottom.
Okay, so finally, is there a question you wish I would have asked you that I did not ask you?
No, no, you're good. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. And to my audience, thank you all. This has been so exciting so far. I know this episode is speaking to you too well to share it with someone out there who might need to start believing in themselves and change their story. And just like Brian, I hope we all meet our own helper who will see something different in us and take us up from there. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys.